Hello, Enid. I'm Derek Silas, the Director of Communications for the City of Enid.
And I'm Diana, Communications Assistant for the City of Enid.
And today we have with us the founder of the Enid Cash Mob group, Facebook group, Andrew Eubank. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For individuals out there who may not know what a cash mob is, Andrew, explain that a little bit.
It's not a new idea. It's certainly not something I invented. It's just the premises behind it. You get a group of people to go to a business and just kind of bless them with an influx of cash every week. So times have been really weird lately with this COVID-19, and small businesses that are the heart of our community have needed some help. And so I thought, well, maybe this would be the perfect time to organize a group of people just to go kind of mob a business with our business and with our cash.
And what gave you the creative idea to bring that idea home to Enid?
Like I said, cash mobs aren't a new thing. A very good friend of mine once told me that he had a group of guys that would each commit to spend $100 a month at a particular business. And so my original idea was to get maybe 15 or 20 people to commit to spending $100 a month at one business, and then the next month we'd go do a new business, and just trying to make that bit of an impact. And we ask these businesses all the time to sponsor our Pee Wee football team, or to sponsor a baseball team, or after prom, or whatever it is, with money or their products. And everybody's probably seen the meme on Facebook. This is the time where we need to go support them. So I thought this was just the perfect timing to make that happen.
I appreciate it. It was very good to do a Enid, just to support the local businesses, especially during this pandemic. Tell us how it all works, the process. How does a business get nominated? And once a business is nominated and a poll is created, is the business notified that they will win, or how does that work?
Yeah, so what we do is originally we just started with a list. Anybody can nominate. If you join Enid Cash Mob, you get on there, and if you have a business that you think is kind of that local business we're looking for, that supports things and is just good local community citizen, you nominate them. They go on a list, and we try to put them on in order that we get them. And so we put usually about 8 every week on the poll, and it's a simple Facebook poll. I probably messed it up 60% of the time because I'm not very good at Facebook, but it's just a simple poll where we put it on there and the cash mobbers vote. We open the poll Friday morning, we close it Monday morning. Once it's closed, I'll put a post. I just put one on this morning. So this week, Wings to Go, Enid got the votes. So on Wednesday, we're going to go mob Wings to Go. And so really, who it is just local people. And we're just supporting these businesses. We try to go on Wednesdays, what turned out to be sort of a restaurant type mob. And the demand was so strong that with 8 people, I can only get so many businesses. We created a separate day to do a retail mob where we go mob retail stores. So the first one was Garden House Nursery. The second one was Putnam Six Bookstore. And so those mobs are on Fridays.
Okay, so the certain criteria to meet, basically, to be able to get on one of these polls is to be nominated by an individual who's in the Enid group. Correct?
That's all you got to do is nominate a business, and we keep a list. And, as a business wins, we take them off the list and then add a new 1 or 2. And we rotate some on the list just to open it up and get more people on there as we go. So it's a little bit of a fluid list, but trying to get as many businesses on that list for the exposure and the possible, mobbing as we can every week.
Okay. What brought on the decision or the recommendation to mob only one business in a week?
So for me, the important thing is focusing the power of our group. So as of this morning, we have, I think, 4,200 members of this group. There isn't a business in town that wouldn't be dramatically affected by sending 4,200 people into that business. And so I've seen lots of people say, hey, let's do this, let's mob 2 businesses a week and then 2 retail a week, or let's pick a day and let's mob an area of town. The problem with that is you only get so many people to participate. And if we do 2 mobs a week or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 mobs a week, pretty soon you're just eating out. And we're already doing that anyway. So our goal is to focus our efforts on one business, and we'll try to get to the next one next week. But if it's just a different business every day of the week, that's just plain old eating out. And that really doesn't accomplish the purpose of what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Now, Andrew, some may wonder why not have like a mob week. You stated that there is like Wednesday, people would go in and mob that store with an influx of cash. Now, could you not spread that out a certain week, or is there a strategic why on that particular day?
Yeah, so Wednesday, really I picked Wednesday because I hope that's the day that most places are open for the mobs that we were doing. But again, if I say, let's just do it this week, then that's great. That business will see an overall spike in business for the week. And, a lot of times that may just be, we've loosened things up in Enid. That may just be people wanting to get out, and they may not feel it as deeply. But what I want people to know is this community supports them overwhelmingly. And I want those businesses not to be overwhelmed, but feel overwhelming support from the community. So if we kind of put a bullseye on one day of the week, they're going to go, that day, maybe the day after, maybe the day before, but they'll really feel it, and they'll know that business is from the cash mob, and they'll know it's these local citizens supporting them. And that's the biggest reason that I have such a focused approach on the one business a week and the one day a week.
Okay. So you believe that the impact of just having that one mob scene a week, that one meal, that one purchase, or will help the business and not necessarily need to have it spread every day, like 4,000 people spread within 5 days. Why do you feel like that one day will affect more?
So my original idea, if you break it down to sort of a simple math story problem, if you have 10 people and they each agree to give $100 to one of those 10 businesses every week, that one day you'll get a big influx of cash. Now, yes, after that, you're going to have to go spend $100 for 9 more weeks. And so that money is going to slowly trickle out. As a business owner, one thing that I can see and understand is if that big influx of cash comes in one day, then it's much easier for me to set that aside for a purpose that I've been needing to use it for, as opposed to 6 or 7 pretty good days. That'll just get lost in the numbers, and it just kind of takes the impact away from it. So that's really why I want to do that. I want that big influx of cash on that day. Plus, more than the cash, it's not always just about money. I want that business owner to know that we support them. And I want them to know on Wednesday, if that person came in, they're probably a cash mobber, and that's why they're there.
Now, what are the businesses that have already been cash mobbed?
So the very first one was Lottaburger, and I think they had to bring in some reinforcements and bring in some more ingredients or supplies during the day because we mobbed them. We have mobbed Taco Bandito. They got, just hounded with business. Then we also have mobbed Lennox Burgers, another great burger place in town. Brick Oven Pizza. We ran them out of pizza for the weekend. They had to go to the city and get some. So my goal is not to shut a business down, but that just tells you that how overwhelmingly we've been supporting them. And then last week was the Flamingo. It's obviously an Enid icon. And so we ran them out of food as well. And so I kind of laugh a little bit about that. I don't want to, that's not my goal, is to put them out of business. But that tells me that we did a really good job of focusing, coordinating, and loving on those businesses.
It looks like there's a lot of support for local businesses among the community, and that's really good to know. Have you received any testimonials from the businesses, any feedback on those that have been nominated and actually been mobbed?
Yeah, so every week I make sure to follow up with the business and I just say, hey, how was it? My main concern is, were people gracious? Did people kind of do this with a caring heart? Because in my opinion, this is not about us. It's not about me being able to get a hamburger at Lottaburger. It's about me being able to give Lottaburger that support through my patronage of that business. And so I've asked all those businesses, how was it? And they say the cash mobbers were fantastic. They were smiling, they were happy. If there's a long wait, they didn't care about it. And as a general rule, business for all the places that we've mobbed has been about 200% plus for several days. So it's not just on mob day, but the Tuesday before, the Thursday after, even the Friday, they're seeing tremendous spikes in their business, which again, I don't want to know their business metrics. What I want to know is that we're doing it with a caring heart and that we're actually out there doing it and really supporting these businesses.
And Andrew, what are the businesses that are nominated for this week?
Well, right now we have the new poll for the restaurants is not up. It'll go up Friday morning, but we have a poll going right now for the retail mob, and the ones on it are For Our Kids Mini Golf. A lot of you are familiar with that. Felt Bird, Roost Christian Bookstore, the Boho Teepee, Broadway Antiques, Turquoise Boutique, Ooh La La Boutique, and Pink Daisy. So voters are voting, and we're getting there's probably over 500 votes. Now we've got 4,200 members. I'd like to see 4,200 votes, but we got probably 500 votes, and that poll closes tomorrow morning. So the winner of that, we will go mob on Friday all day.
So 4,200 members of the group.
Wow.
Did you anticipate that greater number of people from the Enid community to participate in this?
No, like I said, I have a great friend that had a group of guys that would do this kind of thing with a $100 bill or something. And so what I did, I put it out to my Facebook page, and I'm not real active on Facebook. And so I thought maybe just my group of friends maybe get together and do this. And it just has exploded. I never anticipated that. And so early on, my idea was to mob once a month and give them $100. Literally just walk in and put $100 on their cabinet and say, hey, thanks, and walk out. But because this group exploded to so many people, we moved it to weekly and just said, you go in there and do what you can. Don't post how much you spend in the business, because it's not about you and it's not about how much you spend. It's about supporting that business. So we made it monthly, or we made it weekly, and just ask anybody to support as much as they can.
Okay.
Now, right now, this group it's an Enid Cash Mob group on Facebook. Are you looking to expand that over to other social media platforms?
I hadn't even thought about that until right now when you asked me that. I'm not real good at Twitter or Instagram or whatever other social media apps there are out there. I mean, I have them, but it's not really something I've thought about. I would if I thought that it would help businesses get support from our community.
Okay. Well, I've heard of cash mobs throughout the United States and other countries too, and I think it was a very good idea to bring it back to the Enid community. For those out there, this is an actual group called Enid Cash Mob. Now, there is a Facebook page, an old one from 2012, that says Enid Cash Mob. It's not that one. It's the actual group. So you look on her and you'll see a group. But we appreciate the idea for the community, because we do want to always support our local businesses. When it comes to the scheme of things, small businesses don't get the support globally like the more corporations. So they're mom and pop stores. We know them. They're our neighbors, our grandmas, or the woman down the street that we knew. So I really appreciate what is going on in the local community. You have any other words?
And Andrew, before we close out, is there anything that we haven't covered, anything that you want to share with the viewers that are watching?
The only thing that I would say is that these cash mobs are for the businesses. So I'm really trying to stress, if you get there, and they're just too overrun and you can't order some food, literally put $20 down on the counter, tell them thanks, we love you for being in Enid, and then walk out the door. Buy a bunch of gift certificates. This is about those businesses. And so it's not about what you get out of the deal. It's about what you give back. And so that's really the thought behind the cash mob for me. That's how I want to see it go. And I've just been overwhelmed with the citizens of Enid just jumping on this deal in great numbers, taking off and really making a community out of a city. Enid's a good community anyway, but it just shows what we are as a community.
Well, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you. And thank you, Enid, for joining us. And go check out the group and make it a great day.